The Devil, anonymous tale, adapted by Eduardo Liñán. To my father. For a very long time something bad has been following my father. Terrible and sinister things surround him, always walking after his steps. I don't know at what point in time or for what reasons he was tormented for so long by the same devil. The vaguest memory of his curse begins 30 years ago. In those days my grandmother was waiting for him for dinner and noticed something strange about him. He came in with a drawn face and a distant look. He entered the house and behind him he saw a sinister apparition. A huge black dog was following his steps. The dog sat down and then lay on its paws to watch what my father did. My grandmother, frightened, tried to chase the animal away, but it growled in a terrible way, so she chose to close the door and not let it in. My father, filled with a strange rage and, standing in front of his bed, with one arm he grabbed it and threw himself onto it, groaning in pain and speaking oddly, his eyes completely white. My grandmother quickly ran for the holy water she kept in a drawer and began to rub it on the back of his neck. While she did this she said some prayers and eventually he began to calm until he fell asleep. The next day he woke up tired and dragging his feet. He sat at the table to eat. My grandmother asked him if he remembered anything from the previous day or what he had done. He, without hesitation, answered that he had been working out in the fields, up in the hills, and suddenly his vision blurred. He lost consciousness completely and when he came to he was in his bed with an intense headache. From that moment my father would be tormented by horrible dreams, in which he saw himself pursued by a demon that tormented him. The damage it did to him in the dreams he felt in his whole body because he woke up sore and sometimes with quite severe bruises. As a result my father fell ill in his lungs and began to retain fluids. He became very sick, so I had to bring him to live in my house. During his recovery he said he dreamed the devil came and tormented him, that he kicked him in the chest, that he climbed on top of him and twisted his filthy hooves into his flesh. In his deliriums he would wake looking around and say that two small emissaries of Satan watched him, that they were very small demonic beings that prowled outside the windows or peered under the door. He would complain and scream in pain and fear because of those visions. Desperate, I tried to help him in an unusual way, and believing what he said I made him drink holy water to soothe his pain while he slept. I got blessed palms and made several crosses with them. I placed them on the doors and windows of the house and began to pray with all the faith I could have. I put a scapular on his chest and the prayers went on for some time until he finally recovered. I don't know if my faith and my prayers helped him heal, but what it did assure me is that he has not had visits or visions since. I thank God for that.